and we see how we were supposed to do it. Look here now, class number 2. Question number 2 tells us that a Kenyan company received X amount of bitcoins, and the symbol for a bitcoin is this type of a B here. You can see it there. Then the money was converted into Kenya shillings in a bank which buys and sells currencies. Because we can have it as a bank or as an agent who sells foreign currencies. So column number 1, we have the rate of buying in Kenyan shillings, and column number 2, we have the rate of selling in Kenyan shillings. So 1 Bitcoin is being bought at a rate of 12.78 million Kenyan shillings. Then 1 Bitcoin is being sold at 12.95 million Kenyan shillings. And you can see how powerful it is. Then we have 1 US dollar. It is being bought at 130 shillings and 40 cents. And it is being sold at 130 shillings and 86 cents. So we have this. The company received 30,132,000. Calculate the amount X received in bitcoins. You know, class, this is a very, very good question. You know, more often, the questions that we have looked at, like the previous one, we have been told that a tourist came with a given amount. But now in this case here, the amount is in question. It is X amount of bitcoins. So kind of, it is a reverse way of looking at the question. It is not a direct one. So this is a new way in which now commercial arithmetics can also be set, and precisely on the exchange rates. So we have already said this, that when a foreigner comes in with a foreign currency, what the bank does is to buy. What the bank does is to buy. So class here, the conversion that was used here is a rate of 12.78 million shillings. So we shall write and say that 1 Bitcoin, this is a 1B, let me pick up. And so we have 1B is being bought at 12.78 million Kenyan shillings. But now, after converting, the person had 30,132,000. So now, how many bitcoins were those? So I can now have my 30,132,000 as 30.132 million. It will be equivalent to how many bitcoins? So basically here, class, you be able to say that we'll take the 30.132 million, we multiply by 1 bitcoin, then we divide by 12.78. So basically, the amount of bitcoins that the person came in with will be simply 1 bitcoin. You multiply by 30.132, then this one you divide by, of course, this million, and then you divide by 12.78 million. So of course a million and a million will cancel there, so that the currency we have is in terms of bitcoins. So that means we are going to have 30.132, then this we divide by 12.78. And class, once we do that, it implies that that person came in with 2.35, that is 2.35. Yeah, so it came in with 2.35 5, 2.35, around 8 bitcoins. So that is what the person came in with. Good. Let's look at what part 2 of the question is saying. We are told that the company exchanged the above Kenyan shillings into US dollars to import a car from America. Calculate the cost of the car to the nearest US dollar. So basically here, the amount that is to be converted is that 1,130,000 to US dollars. Convert this to USD. So class here, I have already told you that when converting the currency of a country to a foreign currency, what the bank does is simply to sell that currency. If you have a foreign currency, you go to a given country, the bank buys. But if you have the currency of that country, you want a foreign currency, what the bank does is to sell. Therefore, the bank is going to sell at a rate of 130.86. The rate is 130.86. So we will say here that 1 USD is being put at 130, it's being sold at 130.86. But now what about the 30,132,000? This one will be equivalent to how many US dollars? So that is basically going to be 30,132,000. Then this we divide by 130.86. And I want to remind you that nowadays we really have some critical information in any given question that you have to look at. Like in this case, it adds to the nearest US dollar. So what happens when you don't leave your answer to the nearest dollar? Then you lose the one final the one mark at the end of it. So basically now we are going to take the 30,132,000, then we divide by 130.86, and that gives us 230. That is going to be USD 230,000 261 261.34, but we are required to round to the nearest. So that implies that what that person got to import a car was to 30,261 US dollars. So that is it.